She is an enviable woman, not because of her hot body, but because her man is the raptor Boris, and now Boris is locked in a special prison. In order to lock Boris, even iron chains made of 10,000 years of black iron are used, and this day, Dinah came to visit Boris. This is the first time Boris has been allowed to visit in the 40 years he has been locked up. Dinah also prepared a cake for Boris, but the caretaker wants to check and wants to stick his finger in. The prison guards didn't believe it.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Why's that?
It'll ruin your finger.
And directly inserted it into the cake. Suddenly, a bug crawled up, and 2 small darts killed them. Then the bug crawled towards Boris. The bug shot off the big iron on the foot, quickly climbed onto Boris' body, and the iron armor fell off instantly. Then Boris opened his palm, and the bug merged with Boris' dot.
Nu complete Wayne.
In the next second, countless police came to encircle and suppress. As soon as Boris stretched out his hand, 4 or 5 people fell down at the same time. A large number of people appeared outside to arrest him, and Boris opened the door with a cannon, and there were countless guns waiting for him outside. Boris's muzzle charged the energy cannon, and the huge suction force, all the policemen flew up. And Dinah was also sucked into the air. More than 10 toes appeared under Boris' feet, and Boris grabbed Dinah's hand.
Sorry, darling. We did love the cat.
Boris let go of Dinah's hand, and Dinah was also sucked away. Then Boris jumped to the entrance of the cave, which is the highest prison built on the moon. Boris jumped forward a few steps, and the first thing Boris came out was revenge. Callie is the person who imprisoned Boris 40 years ago. Lyle is Callie's partner all these years on this day. The two came to the alien fish shop to investigate the case. As soon as Callie stepped onto the balcony, the gun was knocked out.
Hello, Curry. The armor shut up is still shut off. I can promise you it will be longer than yours.
Lyle came over, just in time to block the spikes with the big iron gate. The two were forced to the edge of the tall building, stepped on the air, and fell quickly. The gate reduced the momentum, and the two landed safely. But at this time, Boris didn't continue to do anything.
I don't know, Curry, but you're already here.
After finishing speaking, Boris left directly. Kelly seemed thoughtful. The next day, Lyle came to Kelly's house to look for him, but it was a woman who opened the door and said she didn't know Kelly. Lyle came to the company again to search for information, and it turned out that Boris is the leader of the planet Namika. Wherever Boris goes, he will be assimilated by the planet Namika. Boris was captured by Kelly when he came to the Earth and imprisoned in the moon prison, and created a defense system to protect the Earth at that time. But there is no information about Kelly in this system, and almost everyone here does not know Kelly. Lyle found a new company leader, only to be told that Kelly had died 40 years ago. Lyle didn't believe it because the two were still working together last night. At this time, the alarm suddenly sounded, and it was the aliens who had invaded the Earth on a large scale. Because of Kelly's early sacrifice, the defense system on Earth was not deployed. It appears that Boris traveled back 40 years and killed Kelly. The only way now is for Lyle to go back 40 years and kill Boris. This is a magical object. Lyle adjusted it to the time 40 years ago, and now as long as you jump from it, you can travel through time and space at this time. The alien spacecraft that filled the sky had already invaded on a large scale. I saw Lyle leaping forward, looking at the time. As soon as the small button was pressed, a green light came from the sky, and the surroundings began to change when it falls. The smart little tie holds him up. In the next second, Lyle returned to the roof of the building, and he realized that he had really returned to 40 years ago. According to the record at the time of the file, Boris will kill an alien seer. But Lyle didn't know that Boris had arrived first, and Boris killed the prophet. When Lyle arrived, he only saw Boris, who was running away. Lyle took aim with a pistol, and suddenly a gun hit Lyle's big neck, which was Kelly when he was young. Then Kelly took out the electric baton and stunned Lyle. When he woke up again, Lyle was already in the company, and there were aliens all around. It turned out that Boris devoured other planets, and these aliens escaped and hit on the Earth. So the Earth established the Men in Black organization to take care of these aliens without waiting for Lyle to speak. Kelly directly tied Lyle up, because anyone who has seen aliens will have their memory erased. Lyle also asked Kelly not to arrest Boris after catching him, but to kill Boris directly. Kelly felt she had to take Lyle's word for it, and Kelly stopped the machine. This cooperation across time and space began. First, the two have to find Joanne, the alien. They found Joanne at a golf course. Joanne is a 5-dimensional creature who can see the future and the past. Joanne put her hand on the pair's shoulders, and they watched the ball game for months later. At this moment, a motorcycle rushed over and took Joanne away. Kelly's car was also damaged when the motorcycle crashed down the platform. As soon as Kelly pressed a small button, 2 super small motorcycles appeared under the car. The little motorcycle quickly caught up with Boris in front of him. Lyle catches up to divert attention, and Kelly takes the opportunity to drag Joanne away. Boris lost his mind and exploded from under the truck. Lyle saw that the motorcycle was reduced to ashes, but Boris was nowhere to be seen. Joanne was moved by the two men in black. Joanne took off his hat, revealing a strange brain where the defense system was hidden. Joanne turned the defense system into a pendant and gave it to the two to save the planet. Just put it in space, and you can successfully deploy the defense system. Then the next step is to deploy the defense system on the other side. The future Boris found the present Boris. What did young Boris say? The old Boris said that the young Boris was a waste. His arm was beaten off by a human, and he was imprisoned for 40 years. Together, the two will kill Kelly tomorrow, destroy the defense system, and occupy the Earth. They carried the most advanced backpack rockets on their backs, traveled thousands of miles in a few breaths, and came to the rocket launch base. But he was regarded as a spy by several policemen. Joanne directly used her ability to let the officers see the future. The three of them finally got their trust. They took the elevator to the top of the rocket. Suddenly, Lyle was caught directly. It was the old Boris when Kelly turned around. The person was gone. Kelly quickly reached the top of the rocket and had just pulled out the defense system to install. The young Boris suddenly appeared, and the defense system also fell on the steel pipe. Kelly drew out her weapon, but she was caught in the calf by the steel pipe. Boris grabs Lyle's neck. Immediately afterwards, Boris aimed his hand at Kelly. Lyle began to implement delaying tactics on Boris, saying that Boris looked weird with one arm, but it was nothing. Then Boris turned around angrily and started shooting darts. The strange thing is that Lyle didn't dodge and jumped down with Boris in his arms. While in the air, Lyle activates the time device. There was a flash of green light in an instant. Lyle traveled back to 2 minutes ago. This time, Lyle said again that Boris had a broken arm. Boris' dart is accurately avoided by Lyle. Boris fell from a height. The other side, Boris got the defense system back to him in a hurry. And at this point, Kelly fired the freeze gun, and Boris' hand was frozen. Another shot followed, and Boris' arm was gone. Ultimately, Kelly successfully deployed the defense system on the rocket. As the rocket lifted off, the Earth was once again protected. Kelly shook hands with Lyle to express his thanks. Suddenly, Boris appeared from behind and Boris hit Lyle with a dart. Kelly raised his gun, and this time he didn't arrest him, but killed him directly, not long after. A little boy got out of the car by the sea, and the little boy was Lyle. Kelly wiped his memory with a flash, leaving Lyle with the fondest memories. Kelly adopted the little boy and called him Lyle. Lyle grew up to be a man in black too.